I think it'd be really fun to be Carolyn. She's this like Alice Cooper loving, Steve Miller band listening hippie. The whole movie, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's just teenage angst, you know, why are you always so mad?
Chloe tapped into that troubled teenager thing really, really well.
Tim always has such a great eye for casting, and he really has found a mini Michelle. You really believe that it could be mother and daughter.
They have their typical mother of a teenager. She hates me. I hate her. No, Jesus. We're not getting along.
Carolyn, this is Miss Winters.
Please, call me Vicky.
Ruined it!
Carolyn, enough.
Enough, David.
The initial desire to take Dark Shadows and make it into a feature film is the idea of this highly, highly dysfunctional family.
The Collins family is odd. They're that family in the neighborhood that everybody talks about, the weird family.
It's a real ensemble cast. You kind of needed things to have that internal working amongst each other.
Children!
Especially with the family.
This is such a non-average family, but we treat it like an average family.
There were people that I felt could be Dark Shadows people and others that aren't. That was a strange sort of criteria of casting.
The first time Barnabas enters, he's actually kind of caressing the sculptures and commenting on the fine craftsmanship. So we really put a lot of effort into creating a very beautiful and richly detailed environment.
Everything is carved, like each little scale on the pillar and every mural on the wall is painted by hand.
Being on the sets and feeling the textures of the rooms was an important element, not just for me, but for the actors, getting the tone of it.
I think there's some very good design in the 70s. I had a great time working with that period. It's always fun to examine a period within a parameter of a story with Tim because you sort of edit what the period is.
Colleen somehow makes it feel kind of timeless at the same time that she's staying true to the period.
I mean, the fashion definitely is a main part of the 1972 part of it, and I love that. My character in particular is super duper 70s.
Caroline's clothes we had a lot of fun with because they're, you know, a little more mod and young and with bright psychedelic colors. She wears, you know, the typical sort of more pop sort of patterns in her clothes.
The Billboard Top 100, I mean, you'd have Alice Cooper and the Carpenters, Sly and the Family Stone, or you know what I mean? It was like it was all over the place.
It was fun to just listen to the sounds of '72.
If you're really telling that story and you're really representing that era, you got to get the right stuff.
I love the 70s. Like, it's my favorite time era. Like, if I could have lived in that era, I would love that.
It's like going back in time, and that particular era does seem stranger than most.
Tim, you know, he embraced the novelty of the 70s, just turned it into art. It was fantastic.
We tried to ground the special effects in reality and sort of tap into the Dark Shadows world.
The television show was trying to pull off things that maybe it didn't have the budget or the means to.
Dark Shadows, the series, did it well within whatever restrictions they had. But it's time to take it to another level.
We're growing into quite the fetching creature. Oh my God.
She's trying to get the message through to her family that none of you understand what I'm going through. I love stunts, obviously.
I was looking at this 15-year-old kid. I want to do all my own stunts. And I was like, yeah, okay, I've heard it so many times. And then, you know, like, and we show exactly what we want them to do. And then everyone changes their mind, but not with Chloe. She had to leap off the heights of maybe 25, 30 feet.
I got up and I did this, like, leap through the air. And she was like, okay. She was like, all right, I guess you can do stunts.
She literally had to do a leap of faith.
It's as if you're like Superman, because you literally, all you do is you just drop. You just let go of your whole body, and you fly towards the ground, and then it catches you.
This wide-eyed kid is going to rock the world when she gets a bit older. I think we're going to see a little action hero out of her for sure.